Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all an update to my Cardfight Vanguard Overdress Greedon deck profile for Post-Festival Collection 2022. Big thanks to my buddy Anthony for letting me borrow his Greedon deck, along with the new support with the latest Festival Collection. It really does add to the pressure that Greedon is meant to do, being a restanding Vanguard type of deck, but with the new backup Grade 3s, giving us more setup along with the new Grade 1 in the deck. It's really awesome take on the deck for its playstyle. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the ride deck's pretty much the same still, with the starter being Desire Devil Talda. When wrote upon, if you want second, draw a card. The Grade 1, Desire Devil Gomon. When this unit is wrote upon by Desire Devil Bushoku, reveal an Voracious Demonic Dragon Greedon from your ride deck and draw a card. And when this unit is also placed on rear by your Vanguard's ability, if your opponent's Vanguard is Grade 3 or greater, you can counter +1 to the end of your turn. When your opponent would call a card from their hand to guard circle, they must call 2 or more at the same time. With our Grade 2 being Desire Devil Bushoku, when wrote upon by Greedon, you can put a card from your hand to your soul, search your deck for up to a card with the same card name as this card, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck, giving you more search power with this card. And additionally, our main go-to Grade 3 is Avaricious Demonic Dragon Greedon, with its restand power and pressure for the Persona ride, along with the copy in the ride deck. We're also running 3 additional copies in the main deck. With its Vanguard skill, if your soul has an Avaricious Demonic Dragon Greedon, the number of cards in your damage zone for you to lose becomes 7. So that additional defense means that you don't have to worry much for damage up to 7. So even if you hit 6 damage, as long as you have that Greedon in your soul, no worry, because you won't lose the game. And on the Vanguard circle, at the end of the battle this unit attacked, you can Soul Blast 2 and put 4 stood rear guards into your soul and stand this unit. If your soul has 10 or more cards, it gets plus 15,000 to end of turn. No drive minuses or anything like that. You just have to invest in your rear guards to go into the soul for you to have this unit restand with an additional plus power. For some of the other Grade 3s, for the new Grade 3, we're running 3 copies of Desire Devil Defund. When this unit is placed on rear guard from hand, if your Vanguard is Avaricious Demonic Dragon Greedon, you may Soul Charge 2, just giving you more of the Soul Charge setup and potential to set up another Greedon in the soul for you to quickly use its additional 7 damage loss skill. And when this unit attacks, if your soul has 2 or more Avaricious Demonic Dragon Greedon, you can counter +1, and this unit gets critical +1 until the end of that battle. So even if you have to put all 4 of your other rear guards into your soul, having this one stood Desire Devil Defund means that this could be enough pressure in and of itself, because if you Persona ride, it'll be at 23,000 power, and any other additional criticals you don't give to Greedon or triggers will just go to Defund for that additional 33 and additional critical hit pressure play. And for the other Grade 3s, also running 3 of the Desire Devil Gametsu. On rear guard once per turn, if your Vanguard is Avaricious Demonic Dragon Greedon, counter +1, discard a card from your hand, and choose a Grade 3 or less card from your soul and call it to rear, giving you new targets with Dofun to call out to the rear guard from your soul, and then just being able to have more of that pressure, as this unit can be the one to be placed back into the soul while keeping Dofun outside for the additional critical. And lastly, for the Grade 3s, just 2 copies of Desire Devil Waizure. From the soul, when Avaricious Demonic Dragon Greedon is placed from your Vanguard circle, you can counter +1, call this card to rear, and with it, it gives you another Grade 3 option. Having that option with all your different Grade 3s as just cards to call out, or have pressure on the rear guard circle. Moving on now to the Grade 2s, along with the copy that we run in the ride deck. We're running 3 additional copies of Desire Devil Bushoku. From the soul, during your turn, if your damage zone has 4 or more cards, the Avaricious Demonic Dragon Greedon on your Vanguard circle gets plus 5,000 power. So if you have all 3 of your Bushoku in the soul, you can have plus 15 additionally with your Greedon's own plus 15 if you Persona run. That's plus 40,000 power alone, not including any triggers you may have gotten for your Greedon to swing at with your opponent, and some pretty heavy hit attacks. And I also run 3 copies for the rest of the Grade 2s of Desire Devil Kennen. When this unit is placed on rear during your main phase, counter +1, look at the top card of your deck, call it to rear, and at the end of that turn, retire that called unit. So most of the time, the unit you called is going to be placed in the soul for Greedon, so you really don't have to worry about that retire skill. It just gives you more and more resources to not have to invest from your hand onto the field with this card. And that's it for the grade 2s. Moving on now to the grade 1s. We're running 4 of the new Desire Devil Zito. When this unit is put from rearguard into your soul by your Vanguard's ability, choose a card from your drop zone, put it into your soul. More and more soul buildup. Being able to specifically target what you want in your drop zone to put in means you can put cards like Bushoku or even additional copies of Greedon that you may have potentially had to Soul Blast to at least have that one additional copy in the soul to use. It gives you that specific target option to then use all of the other Greedons to use in the deck for your playstyle, depending on which one you may want to use for the cards. And having that benefit of just when this card's put in is a definite 4 of, so you always have these cards to place into the soul and then use the other skill. And for some of the lower numbers for the other grade 1s, just running 3 copies of Desire Devil in Kane. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if you Persona Road this turn, you can soul charge 1, just being more soul power buildup. And when this unit is put from rear into your soul for a Vanguard's ability, you can counter +2 and choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets plus 5,000 and drive +1 till end of turn. So for the actual counterblasts in the deck, you really don't use too much aside from the pressure with Dofund and then the additional setup with Tsundere, but a lot of times that additional drive check plus can be even more scary, being able to have the triple drive option with this card, and then being the fact that it is until end of turn if you do restand for the option for your Vanguard's ability, giving you that drive plus for the soul put up can have a twin drive pressure, but then even more scary once Greedon restands. And then for the final grade 1s that we run in the deck, also 2 copies of Desire Devil Bobetsu on rearguard once per turn. When your other rearguard is put into your soul by your Vanguard's ability during your turn, you can counter +1, choose a card from your hand, call it to an open rearguard. If your soul has 10 or more cards, draw a card. So another way for you to call out a card like Dofun onto the field by just having your Bubetsu set it up and have this card ready to go for the additional attack if you wanted to attack with another unit, and then have the other 4 put into the soul and then use Bubetsu to put that other rearguard from your hand out onto the field to use. With the last of the grade 1s just being 4 copies of the Recusal Hate Dragon Sentinel of choice, just having the less guard restrictions, either being able to conserve the cards in your hand for a Persona ride or 1 additional Sentinel for you to use to guard against your opponent. And then for the trigger lineup, with Greedon being a restand Vanguard deck, we are running 8 critical for the immense pressure that this does provide, along with our over trigger giving the +10 in a critical as well. 8 critical definitely does help just to make your opponent early game guard a lot of the attacks to make sure they can block and not risk getting hit with a critical, along with any other critical option you may have, like Dofund. And for the other trigger spot, 4 draw triggers. Front triggers really don't do much in this deck since a lot of your units won't even be attacking. They'll be placed into the soul for Greedon, so being able to at least have some more hand consistency with this card and the additional shield guard always helps. And for the heals, I do have 4 of the Ariana, but if you wanted to run 1 copy of the new additional shield heals, you can take out 2 copies of this card and put in 1 of the additional critical +15 and 1 of the restanding multiple attacks +15 for the final 2 spots, with the last trigger just being the Gamma held for the +10 in critical when you drive check it, and the fact that it gives it to your Vanguard for the rest of the fight makes it even more broken the earlier you get it in the game. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoy the video. Once again, I'm going through the many different festival collection decks that we have, so look forward to some other updates for some of the decks we still have left over from the festival collection to update. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.